Welcome back to the 21st part tutorial of how to model SentryGun, and this part of the tutorial I'm gonna close this modeling part of the SentryGun, and I do want to talk about a few other things related to the stock CG plugin. So let's first open the file, okay, and I'm doing it purposely by using the stock CG. If you are not using this plugin, then just open it anyway. It's the regular old-fashioned way. Okay, so here I have the last version where we stopped. Okay, it's here, and yeah, I did move this thing here, so I'm gonna bring it over here back, and we will start with creating this pin holder that should be here. Okay, now for this, what we are going to do, we're going to choose the leg here and right click on it, choose face, and I want you to click on this face, on the inner hole face here, and shift double click the other face next to it, and go over edit mesh, duplicate face here. Okay, so right now the leg and the inner part are both separated. They are not separated, but actually there is a duplicated faces as the inner hole here. Sorry. So what's going on is that after duplicating faces, two of those objects are basically two different objects, and in order to switch off of this gizmo here, you need to press 3 times on F8, which turns in back to object mode. Okay, now you can see obviously that the gizmo is disappeared, but we still have two objects. The first one, which is that has been selected, which is this part of the leg, and the second one, which is the green one, there inside. Okay, so hold down Control and select this leg in order to unselect it, so we will left off only with this part, and go over Modify Center Pivot, and then switch to Move Tool, and I want you to basically switch to Scale Tool and stretch it in this direction, like so. Now hold down this middle axis cube here and just scale it down so it will fit the hole we have here, and then you can continue and stretch it a little bit, and with the move tool push it back inside so only part of it will peek out from here. I will stretch it even more because I need the other side to have some more thing here. I'm gonna move it that way, so we will leave only this scale of part here, and here we will need to scale it a little bit more, but let's continue with this thing first. Shift right click to insert edge loops. I'm gonna add 2 edge loops here, and it's better to use the 4 view for this, but if you manage to do this that way, that's also good. And then face, right click face, choose face, grab this face, double click this face, and I want you to go to the polygon shelf and extrude it, and then you will see that the gizmo, the blue arrow of the gizmo, is pointing inside. That means that the normals of this object that we are modifying right now is pointing inside, and it's kind of obvious, okay, because we pulled out faces that basically are they're normal pointing inside, and therefore when we duplicated the same thing. So you need to pull them out first, and we will deal with the normals later. And then right click, choose edge, double click on this edge and switch to scale tool and do something like so. Okay, now you can make it maybe a little bit thinner, but right now something like that it's okay. Click extrude once again, switch to scale tool and do scale it to about so. Shift right click, choose merge collapse edge and merge edge to center. So this is instead of creating a fill hole function, using the fill hole function. Now I do want you to right click, choose vertex, grab this vertex here, shift right click, chamfer vertex, grab this face, extrude it, pull it inside that way and scale it like so. Okay, and then you can do this one more time, extrude it, switch to scale tool, grab the middle cube axis and there, go over edit mesh and poke face. Okay, F8 to bring it back to object mode, shift right click, insert edge loop. We're gonna add supporting edge loops here to this edge, to this edge, to this edge here, and to this edge there. I'm gonna press F8 to bring it back to object mode, select it and pull it outside for a second. I'm gonna add 2 more edge loops, sorry, 4 or 3. So one here, and one there. Alright, so now we can simply smooth it and see that it's maintaining those sharp edges a little bit. It's still smooth a little bit, but still yet sharp where it should be sharp. Okay, let's move it back into position over here. I want to take a look in the inner hole. That's fine. Now if you are not satisfied with this, you can simply come and grab all those vertices, make sure you included those in the center there, and just push it a little bit inside back. So something like this, it's also good. Now here we will switch to the foreview and use the front view to see where we want to place those extra edge loops right now. So first of all, because it's already selected, you can still select it like here. Right click, choose vertices. I'm gonna grab those vertices and pull them back a little bit and press F8 a few times. And then shift right click, insert edge loop. I'm gonna add 2 edge loops here where the pin is picking out from the other side. Okay, 2 next to each other and 2 over here. So those faces here will be extruded out and will be some kind of a disc that maintaining this pin not to pulled out. Okay, and I'm gonna add 1 more edge loop here for the end of this pin. And let's grab this, sorry, let's hit the spacebar to switch to foreview, put your mouse over this perspective view, again spacebar to expand this window, right click, choose face, click this face, double click on this, shift double click on this face next to it and extrude it. Once again we need to pull it outside like so and make it big enough so those 2 rails here of this thing here, it will be so the disc sorry, so the disc will be basically the same diameter as those 2 rails, scale in between them, because as I said, it should maintain this pin to hold it in place, and this is what it meant for. So shift right click, insert edge loop. I'm gonna add 1 edge loop over here one edge loop over here, one edge loop over here, like that. Gonna peek from the outside, and like so. So if I will press F8 and press 3 to smooth preview this is how it should look like, and press 1 to exit the smooth preview, double click on this edge, click on extrude, switch to scale tool and pull it inside the extrusion, and then maybe if you like you can simply make it that way and just make some beveled, add some bevel to here, okay, so it will look like so, and then extrude it once more, switch to scale tool, move it over here, then shift right click and merge collapse edge and merge enter edge to center. Press F8 to bring it back to object mode, click on this vertex, shift right click chamfer vertex, and then grab this face and poke it like so. Now we will add our extra edge loops, one here, so the closest that those edges will be next to this edge, we want to make it sharp. This is how sharp it will be, that way. Press F8, let's press 3 to see this. Alright, so it looks okay. We can click on Control D to duplicate this, or Command D for Mac users. Move it over here, rotate it, hold down the J key while you're rotating so it will snap to 180 degrees, and place it in position like so, maybe more of like so. That's okay. So we've done with this, and I wanna save this, and I know that I told you that I may create those back legs, but I have some other things that I thinking about, and I wanna try and make the next tutorial parts for texture and stuff like this, and above all I do want to explain a few things about Stoxygy right now. So there is a lot to accomplish in this tutorial, and I will try to just make it more advanced for you and give you some more details about many things. So just be patient and try to follow. So about Stoxygy, when I open this scene here, you can see that there is next to the thumbnail there is versions. Okay, there is 1, 2, 3, and those versions created by me. Okay, now whenever you install Stoxygy, you basically create a new folder inside your own project folder, and this folder contains all of the information that has been generated by using your own default library project folder, and it creates a new project folder that contains the new things like that meant to be used with Stoxygy. Therefore, you need to adapt a new a new workflow when you're using this plugin, because I run into few problems, and I did got a fast response and answer from the owner of this plugin, and he was very nice to me and giving me all the time that I needed in order to understand how to work with this. But I do feel that some of you need this you know, instruction. So let me just explain how it goes. I will open my folder library, my projects folder, downloads, documents, okay. Sorry, Maya projects, and I have the SentryGun folder, and inside the folder, by default, Maya stores all of your files into the scene project here. Okay, these are all the MB files that I created, and these are the files that Stockcg is using in order to create its own folder. So when it creates this folder, Stockcg called this folder incremental. Okay. Sorry about my, I'm just smoking. And what it does, it creates for each one of your MB files a folder on its own. Okay, so I have Apple 1, Apple 2, bus, and just for instance, we have this part 19. Okay, and part 19 is the folder that we are currently using. So there is a three versions of this file, and they are stored in this folder. So you can see that part 19.01, part 19.02, and so on. Okay. Now the thing is that whenever you want to save a file, okay, for instance this file, you need to come over here and click Save File to Project folder, project library, okay, and this makes whatever changes you create here into a new version. Okay, so I will just demonstrate this. I will click on Save File. The project is set to SentryGun, and I have the root. I have two other folders in this folder, but I'm using the root folder, so therefore if I would click on Save File to Project Library, it will store a new version. I just scroll down again, part 19, and you have here also a path. You can see the path of this file that I'm currently working on, and you can see that it does use the incremental folder and the part 19 folder and the part 19.01 MB. Okay, so if I will click Save File to Project Library, you will see that another scene has been added to this version. So let me do this. I'm gonna keep the same name, .mb, save file to project, and that's all. I'm gonna scroll down back to part 19 here, and you can see that right now we have 4 versions of how this model is saved. Okay. Oh, okay. So whenever you want to save on the same on the same model that you already used, the version that you already used, and you don't want to make new versions of it, then you should go and choose File, save scene, and that's it. Okay, and that will store all the new information that has been changed in your scene to the same version you already created. Okay, you already used. And right now, if you do choose to use this plugin, okay, then you really need to adapt to this thing, because otherwise it just makes some mess with your own folders, libraries, and stuff like this. So please be very much aware of what you're doing and how you save your file. Just for an instant, I will show you one thing that I've got into, and it was pretty much hard for me to understand this without this instruction of the plugin owner. Okay, so I was trying to open this file through the regular way. Okay, SentryGun, scene, part 19, and click open. And yeah, I don't want to save this, so I'm going over this file, and right now you will see that there is other thing here Okay, there is one part that I already created for my first try of this part of the tutorial, and you can see that the last version of what we've made, it was with the cannon outside. Okay, so whatever I applied to the project, these haven't been changed to this one, because this one is not in use basically. Okay, the part 19, the original, model. Now if I will go over part 4, you just try to show you that you will, in a way that you can see that it's a different file. Okay, I'm gonna switch to here. Let's see. Maybe I will show you the outliner. No. Okay, I just opened this 4. Don't save, and alright, I have no idea how to prove you that these are not the same files, but I trust your logic and follow this, that the incrementals, it's basically the real file that has been used for this plugin. Okay, either way, we do have some things to do here. So what I want you also to be aware of, we are going to make a cleanup for this scene. And by cleanup I mean that we are going to get rid of few things, few problems that we may occur while we're trying to manage this file. So as you remember, we do have few things here hiding in layers on the channel box. So we have this thing, and those. And I guess that in your file you should have some more backups. Basically what I've done is I saved copies as backups for few of the things in the process. So just to be on the safe side. So basically right now I want you to reveal all of them, and I want you to be aware that some of those things are basically, even if they are hiding from the layers, like by the layers like that, they are still appearing here. Okay, and for what we are going to do right now, we're going to break all of those. You see those red arrows with the white icons? Those are groups, and I want to break those groups into separated objects. So therefore, many things that you will see here in the scene, in this outliner, basically most of them, some of them, you won't be able to see them through this through the work area, because they are hiding. So therefore, first of all, just bring everything here, and let's grab this thing that we don't need. And if we have this thing, and this thing that we don't need right now, and we already been able to accomplish this model, so right now I don't really care about those stuff, so you can simply come and delete them. Okay, press delete to delete them, and we have those layers which doesn't represent anything, so we can delete this layer also, and this layer also, and this layer also, delete layer. And we have everything contained in one layer. So now we're gonna break all of those groups simply by grabbing this group, go over general, and you see this icon here. This is the ungroup, so you click on it and just watch what's going on here while I'm clicking it. So it breaks this group, and you can simply come and click select this group, press G, and it will break those each one by one just by pressing G, because this is the last function that you used right now. So I'm trying to break this group, trying to break this group, Okay, now we have two transforms groups, okay, which are hiding. So I will try to first Control H to make it shown, but I don't see it anywhere because it was part of the layers, okay, that we've been deleted, the objects on the layers. Let's just try to break this, and we can break this and basically there is no point for those groups to be there. They're just empty groups. So let's delete them, and let's grab these two. Also, you can see that nothing in the scene has been selected, so probably empty group. Those are in groups, so let's ungroup them, and let's delete this one because it's empty group. This one. By the way, just pay attention to what's going on in the scene, and if something disappears, so undo that. Right now, this thing is, see this, can delete this, but just pay attention that it's not deleting also the objects. And let's delete this thing, and you see what happened. Right now it becomes just like so. So what I will do, let me try and delete the history. Okay, so I do also apply physical sun and sky to this scene whenever I wanted to render a picture from it. So right now I'm gonna delete the sun direction also, because this has been added through this thing. If you also apply this, just come and delete, okay? Just click delete here. It will delete whatever came with this setup. And now you can see that all of my objects are gray icon, okay, with gray icon, and I can shift click the first one and the last one, and I don't want the surface, so I will unselect this and press Control G to group this, okay, or simply come over this icon and click on it, and then this will be outside of the group, so you can press delete and delete it. And this is how we cleaned up this. Two less things, go over modify, freeze transformation, to all of them, edit, delete by type, history, okay? So this is just the first step of cleanup, so we can continue with this without interference and stuff. Just some other problems that may occur if you won't do this, okay? So thank you for watching this part. I know it was a little bit kind of busy, but all those things are really much things that I crossed by trying to continue this tutorial, and I thought it's just important to talk about those issues just to make your life easier later on, okay? So thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next part where we will start to UV mapping this and continue afterwards by texturing it, okay? So see you.